All right, everybody. So, welcome back. Last session was our first session spent here at the Witchlight Carnival, and you all met each other, some of you for the first time, some of you reacquainting with one another, and discovering that all of you had something very much in common. That each and every one of you had lost something precious to you on a long ago day when you had come to this Witchlight Carnival without a ticket. Something was taken from you, but the memory and the knowledge even of that lost item slowly began to fade away until it was just a tiny little itch at the back of your mind. Until today, when all of those feelings and memories began to rush back towards you, memories of the owners of the Witchlight Carnival, a Mr. Witch and a Mr. Light, their voices ringing in your ears with warnings, consequences for entering the carnival without buying the ticket, and that everything had a price. So, now, with new determination to discover exactly what happened on that fateful day, and find what it was that you lost, you re-entered the Witchlight Carnival, and upon doing so, found yourselves to be the recipients of an unlimited pass, a ticket, unlike any other that is given out here at the Witchlight Carnival, that allowed you to go on as many attractions, see as many things, do as many things as your hearts desired in the space of one evening. Didn't take you all long to set to that. Visiting several different places, including the Bubble Pop Teapot, which gave you a quick tour of the grounds and then deposited you exactly where you wanted to be, over near the carousel. You all met with a Diana Cloppington, and she was able to, in more or less words, inform you that the horses aboard this carousel might have some knowledge for you to impart onto you. About what happened to you all those years ago. And, namely, that they might be able to help you discover who took what you had lost. So, unable to tell you more about this situation herself, Miss Cloppington closed the carousel down for a few minutes while you all went and questioned these unicorns that made up the carousel. They were able to give a lot of information to you all, each and every one of you receiving at least a little bit of a clue as to the whereabouts of the item that you lost or who might have taken it. After this, you all went out of the carousel area and continued looking through the park, exploring, taking advantage of your unlimited passes, riding some dragonflies, and seeing a potential saboteur at work at the dragonfly rides, a Kenku, who slunk away from the event after whispering some rather dreadful things into the ear of one of the dragonflies. Determined to eventually find out what this was and look into it, you all continued back around, making a quick stop at the lost property, thinking at the obvious place to find something that you had lost. Discovering there a displacer beast who had been awakened and was in charge of keeping track of several young children whose parents were elsewhere in the park. One of them slipped away from her, but you were able to recover this child just before they were snapped up in the clutches of some sinister, shadowy being. After all of this, you proceeded to make your way northward through the carnival towards the feasting orchard, presumably intent on getting some more food after already having a rather exhilarating brief hot dog eating contest. But on your way... Yeah, I remember that. But on your way there, walking by what several people thought to be an attraction, but a lot of you knew better, a seemingly gateway opened up into a dark plane, a dark world, where the undead shuffled by relentlessly and endlessly, several of the dead breaking through into your reality before the gateway was closed, nearly attacking several of the guests of the Witchlight Carnival before all of you were in quite spectacular fashion able to put down these undead creatures. And with that, that's where we are now. You all have just felled these creatures. The mood of the carnival is good, the lights are shining brightly, the music is jovial, and all of the people have a smile on their faces, at least all the ones that you can see. That is where we are now. What would you all like to do?
Would I be able to recover the one arrow that I fired at these zombies?
Absolutely.
Are there any zombies still left?
There are not. They are gone. And the portal through which they came long since closed.
Interesting. Well, best not dwell on it, and let's just get some food. All in agreement? Food.
You're hungry again?
I did not finish my meal. To my sadness.
I guess I could eat.
I turned to our rather morose comrades. Food!
Revan is just. Oh.
No, go
Sorry.
ahead.
Revan is just gazing at the surface where the portal from, just with a frown on his face. And
Tarps
just,
flap in the wind along the back of those tents.
Oh.
He's going to take out a cloth, clean his blades, and resheath them. And just, I suppose if hunger drives you, we might as well see what else we can learn while we're here.
Yeah, and maybe we'll learn something more with a full belly.
Zephyr's gonna grab Gas arm, like, come on, you gotta see all the amazing food. It's so good.
All right. So heading up to the feasting orchard. All right, buddy. Doesn't take you long to arrive there. Music and mirth both radiate from this park. The heady scent of flowers, mead, berry pie, and many other delectable things waft through the air. Stiltwalkers pluck fruit from trees. Musicians drum, pipe, and strum, and everywhere there is singing, dancing, and an inordinate amount of custard. In fact, barrels of this stuff are being wheeled past you, towards a central stage, with several tables set up at it. Anything particular y'all would like to do here? There's much to eat and drink. Due to your unlimited pass, you have unlimited access to as much as you can eat and drink.
Cool. Zephyr's gonna pull Gas to, like, the burger and cotton candy stand. Like, oh, you gotta try these.
Stuff looks like my hair.
But it's so delicious.
You can't eat your hair. Or can
No,
you?
your hair's not edible.
Could be a good challenge.
I'm just gonna tug my hood down a little snugger.
Also, do we know what the custard is for?
Zampano, as you mention that, you hear a barker. Come one, come all! Witness an extravaganza of eating prowess. You see fireworks begin to go off around this man who stands at the central stage. You see a whole bunch of people begin to clap, and he says, "Who here can best these many pastries?" And as he does that, he pulls away a curtain, and there is just a mountain of pastries, and there is a gnomish man in the back who has a tube attached to that like wheelbarrow full of custard, and he's just like injecting each of these things one at a time with loads of custard.
Wow.
Stop,
So-
look! You like eating challenges.
Yes! I wish I could say I am undefeated.
So, Gas doesn't talk directly to Zephyr because she can't do that. But she's thinking, yes, God, please enter the contest and put something in your mouth.
Zephyr's a bard. He would never do something like that. He's just gonna prump up the crowd and try to get Gas to do it.
Not be happening.
Oh, really? Really? Are you sure? It's quite fun.
The
I know
barker
Zamp.
The barker continues.
Allergic.
Allergic?
Lactose intolerant?
I meant to fun.
Listen, literally was typing that.
Zephyr got it.
We'll turn that frown upside down. You're in a carnival, Missy.
The Barker continues and gestures towards the very top of the mountain of custard-filled confections and says, "And for the winner, a cupcake of ages." And as he says this, like a big boom goes through the crowd, and like this giant cupcake, it's giant. I mean, it would take like the average person 2 hands to get your hands around it, and it shines with this like silvery light up at the top of this whole pile.
I must win that cupcake, and I will consume it. And I will become the cupcake. Okay, sign me up. I shout to the Barker.
He leans down and says, "Take a seat." And as you can see, there are about 5 or 6 other people all sitting, all beginning to take their seats.
Any, like,
Am I
Revan,
able
you want
to
to join?
shove Revan forward?
Zephyr would see you trying to shove Revan and be like, this guy, and like tries to raise his hand for him.
Revan, what do you do to all this?
Do it, do it, do it, do it.
Revan is trying to keep his hands away from our bardic friend's eye, raising them, because not only is he a bard, he's a carny bard, so God only knows where those hands have been. But as he does this and Gast shoves him, he stumbles forward.
Ah, another
Eyes
brave
go
challenger.
wide.
Come,
Eyes go
take
wide.
your
and he
seat
says,
amongst
"Fuck chill."
champions.
Revan, if you do it, I'll do it.
He goes up there because at the moment
He said
he
it
has no
intention.
way out.
Wonderful.
Zapper's,
2
like, behind him,
mighty
push-
champions. And then the Barker turns and says, "We have our contestants! Best of luck to you, everybody. And try not to let the custard foil you." As he says that, he snaps both of his fingers, and in front of each of you, a massive pile of pastries forms up in front of you.
Love it.
Roll initiative. 3 of you.
Luckily, I already
Okay.
have my token out.
Yeah, I gotta get my token out. Hold on one sec.
I wasn't gonna do this, and then I realized that my character has the unending breath thing, so he can just eat, doesn't have to breathe.
Bold of you to assume that will protect you against custard
It-
damage.
It might
That's
slightly help. It just means he can eat more until he throws up.
Just the people competing, right?
Correct.
Yes, just the people competing.
Okay.
You could enter the initiative if you'd like, if you are going to assist in another way. Oh, let me get rid of those zombies.
Zombies? We don't
How
see the
would I
zombies.
assist in another way?
Go ahead and roll initiative, and we'll find out.
Oh.
Ho, 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 ho.
All right. So Zump, what's your true initiative? 9?
Yeah.
9. Zephyr, what's your real initiative?
That's the I rolled. That's the only one I rolled.
I see 2. There's a 4-1-4 and a 16-1-4. I forgot
I don't know,
I
you
forgot
s-
to delete last initiative.
Oh.
So yeah,
16 is mine.
16's yours. Okay, gotcha. Gast, what's
Uh,
your real
I got
initiative?
11.14.
Got it. Revan.
18.16.
Okay. I deleted the wrong one right as you said it to me.
Fail.
Indeed. Okay, who do we... Oh, Aura's not here. Oh, which reminds me. Aura has a performance at the Big Top coming up in just about an hour or 2. She should be performing just as we wrap up today's session. So,
How exciting.
that is where she is. All right. So, The Barker.
Do I need to re-roll my initiative? Do I need to re-roll my initiative since it vanished?
I have 18-1-6 for you.
Yeah, we don't see
Okay,
it,
but I
though.
don't see it.
Oh, yeah, go ahead and
Yeah.
roll it. Odd.
Because all this stuff you see, we don't see. We only see us.
19-1-6 keeps you in the same spot, so we'll just leave it there.
Okay.
And now, at initiative count 10, the other contestants. Because I can spell, that's a skill that I possess.
I
almost
don't.
believe.
I can't.
Okay, everybody. So, with that, the Barker announces the beginning of the festivities. Informs all around of what is about to happen. And you see him reach his hand up and clap his hands together as a massive thunderclap booms out from them, and he says, "Begin." In order, each of you please make Constitution saving throws. First off, let's go ahead and do this. What is everybody's Constitution modifier? Revan, we'll start with you.
2.
2, okay. So you can get through 5 cupcakes before it begins to be a bit of a problem for you. Take note of that if you don't mind. And
Okay.
Zephyr, what is your Constitution modifier?
2 as well.
2. Once again, you consume 5 of these custard confections before it becomes a problem for you. Gast is watching, potentially interfering later. Zampano, what is your Constitution modifier?
3.
A 3! You can
Yes.
consume 6 of these custard
Oh.
bombs before it becomes a problem for you. Now,
Nom nom nom.
everybody take note of that. That is how many you have consumed thus far. Now, Revan, make a Constitution saving throw. Fantastic. You consume another. Take note. Zephyr.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Oof.
You have a bit of trouble keeping this one down, but you do manage to keep it. Gast, you are currently watching them all consume an inordinate amount of cupcakes. A couple of them are falling a bit behind, while Zampano has pulled ahead of the pack. Now, the other contestants.
Zampano hasn't even gone yet.
Zampano, I believe, is initiative 914. The other contestants should be on initiative count 10. That's my bad. So they are acting before Zampano. And they... Oh, one contestant is out, leaving only 4
Yay.
left with you all. Zampano. Constitution saving throw. Okay, fantastic. We are back around to Revan. Repeat the saving throw, please. Fantastic. You may mark down another custard cupcake for yourself. This is ridiculous.
I'm at 7.
Zephyr.
This is amazing.
Cupcake. Oh.
Fantastic. Gast, you watch them consuming cupcakes, seeming to be able to keep most of them down. A couple of the contestants are beginning to have trouble. Again, this is one of those freeform type of things. If you can think of anything that you would like to do to interfere, you may do so. That could be... yes, go ahead.
I'm going to stand in front of the other contestants and start rattling off facts I know about bacteria.
Oh, fantastic. Gast, please make
Persuasion?
Persuasion would do fine. Okay, we will add 2 to these contestants' saving throw.
Love it.
Makes their DC 14. They do succeed, although you see a couple of them kind of, like, you see their cheeks kind of puff out as you say a particularly gnarly fact, but they kind of scowl at you and continue and deep swallow. Zampano. What is with the 20? I am confused. What is happening there?
It keeps changing it.
Yeah, it's weird. I'm just gonna get rid of it. We know they act on 10.
Okay, I get one more.
Zompano, you got the 14. You get one more.
Mhm.
Yes.
Cool.
Okay. Revan.
He's at 8. We're at 7.
Yep.
Wow. Cupcake eating experts over here. All right, Revan, mark another one down for yourself. Zephyr.
Down to 8.
Zephyr. You lean back in your chair, your stomach visibly beginning to bulge a little bit from eating all of these pastries. You take 1 custard damage. Reduce it from your hit points.
Yep. But I get another a cupcake?
No, you do not.
Boo.
Gast?
I'm going to loudly start describing in graphic detail the bloated deer carcass that blew the knife face down in the water at one point.
Okay, I think that one's going to be intimidation.
I'm not good at that one. I guess I am. I'm almost willing to take my. Yeah, I want to make some food.
Oh god. You already saw someone puke.
So, one of them immediately loses all of their custard. It actually disappears as soon as it hits the floor. You can all see it projectile, and then where it hits, nothing happens. You can see the ringleader kind of making a gesture and shaking his head like, oh no. As he cleans that up, so he lost one, and with a 24 gas, we will go ahead and increase everyone else's saving throw for this round by 2 as well. So, geez, that's high for this one. Oh my god. All right.
They dead.
There is but 1 contestant left.
I'm giving Revan a thumbs up.
Zampano.
Okie dokie.
Oh, close. Very, very close, Zump.
Oof,
You managed to
oof.
maintain.
Okay, 9.
Revan. Revan. You feel some of
I
that
might
cupcake.
go
ahead.
I might go ahead and take that sectional just for the heck of it.
Or love it.
Oh, I love this.
We need that giant cupcake, guys.
Okay. With a 19, you do manage to keep your food down, and you get yet another one of the pastries down. Okay.
So I'm even with something though right now.
Okay.
He doesn't like being the center of attention, but now that he's been stuck there, by God, his pride's not going to let him give up.
Competition. Gotta be the very best. All right, Zephyr. Another mark down.
That's 8.
Gast, there is but 1 contestant remaining that is not one of your companions. How do you torture this poor fool?
I'm going to start to. Oh! I am going to literally rip a tooth out of my mouth.
Ah!
What?
He's like
Look at him.
he's just like staring at you like all grim and determined, like, and he's like, you can't get me with these facts. And he's just like this big mountain of a man, maybe even like the strong man of the carnival, and he's just looking at you like deadpan. And then you do that, and he's like, turns around and runs away. You don't even have to make a check for that. That's just brutal. That's just gnarly.
Wow.
That was awesome.
You all feel as he runs past. You all feel the stage shake. He's like, doom, 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 doom. He's like, ah!
I am also competitive.
Yeah, you really want this.
Okay.
Never know when.
That does bring us to Zump.
Oh, the guys didn't go?
Oh, that was
Oh, wait,
last of
there's
them.
no one left.
There's just the
Okay.
3 of you.
Come on, big money.
Oh,
yeah.
another.
I'm at 10.
Revan.
Can I match the great Zompano? We shall see.
Oh, no, you cannot.
I failed. I
Revan,
cannot.
you take 2 points of custard damage. Zephyr?
I pulled a tooth out for you.
Another one down.
God.
Gast, do you wish to intervene further?
No, I'm gonna let them figure it out.
Okay, if you change your mind at any
Evan-
point, let me know.
Evan disappointed me.
Be the kingmaker.
Zampano.
Okay, here we
Currently
go.
at 9.
Oh no!
Zomp. Do you feel those hot dogs from earlier beginning to intermingle in really not pleasant ways with all these new cupcakes? You take 8
Holy
points of custard damage.
What the? I'm at 3 hit points.
Oh. Revan.
Follow me down,
Well.
buddy.
Let's do it.
Revan, you do take, with a natural 1, 10 points of custard damage.
If you die from fucking cupcakes, I'm gonna leave you dead.
Well, I kind of did.
It's not double your hit points, right?
No, but I am unconscious now.
You see Revan literally just begin to sway on his chair. He's swaying back and forth, and his eyes just kind of roll back, and he falls headfirst into the custard. You are unconscious.
It's
You are not
true.
making death saves.
It is too rich a food. I'm used to plants and wild game and stuff like that.
Zephyr.
Hey.
Zephyr, you do not have a good time with this particular round of custard. You do take 6 points of custard damage.
Oh, can we custard damage each other?
Zampano.
Oh my god.
Unless, of course, Gast would like to intervene.
Oh, she's just gonna let Revan lay in his custard pillow.
Oh, I think I'm down.
no!
I think I'm down.
Gonna be bad. 2d8 custard damage is 8 points of custard damage.
Yeah, I'm out. Okay, yep.
Zampano has one of the pastries in his hand, and he's reaching it up towards his mouth, and his hand just drops. Looking all sleepy and tired, he kind of lifts it up again, and it drops again. As he's staring at it, he falls over onto his side, and you hear the ringleader, "We have a winner!" He steps
Zephyr
over
just stands-
Revan and steps over Zampano, says, "Congratulations, young man!"
He's like, oh my god, thank you. I don't win any ever. This is awesome.
Well, you have won a prize of the ages for this one, my young boy. And he raises his hand. The cupcake begins to float down. He says, "Congratulations." Makes a flourish, and the cupcake drops down into your hands.
He just claps a little bit and before he grabs it.
With that, Revan and Zampano do recover from their custard coma. Any hit points lost to custard damage are regained.
Me too?
Any hit points lost to custard damage are regained.
Thanks, boss.
I'm gonna go clean my tooth off and put it back.
Zephyr's just looking at this awesome, immaculate cupcake like,
The frosting looks like real silver.
oh yeah? Am I
Yeah.
supposed to eat it? He's like, it looks like it's not food. Just to
Zephyr, if you were to
overly
touch the
examine
frosting that looks just like real metallic silver, it has the consistency of a very nice buttercream frosting.
it. Ooh.
This game is so weird.
He's like, well, I can't. He's like, huh? I just ate enough. Oh, screw it. And
Hey, you eat
just
the whole thing?
shoves it in his mouth.
It's a giant cupcake.
It is, in fact, a giant cupcake.
Oh,
Zephyr, as soon as you begin the consumption of this cupcake, you find yourself unable to stop.
son of
Oh
a
no.
It is utterly delicious. you get a little bit heavier in the coin purse for starters, as your coin purse fills up with 10 silver pieces. In addition, as soon as you take the last bite of your cupcake, Zephyr, you vanish.
Oh.
Oh shit.
Oh. Was it
Zephyr
a trap?
is invisible and will remain invisible until one of two things happens. An hour passes, or he decides he doesn't want to be invisible anymore.
Oh, he's gonna stay invisible.
Oh my god.
So
He
Cass
just kinda-
is deeply concerned, and she reaches out to like where he was and just hand at his face.
Nope, he's already moved behind you, like poking at you and stuff, playing with your hair.
Ooh. Making ghost sounds.
Oh yeah, he's definitely making weird noises.
Oh my god. Wait till we just tell Aura what happened. Or
Okay.
tell Aura. Let's not tell Aura what happened.
Zephyr, I don't. Not being able to see you, I can actually talk to you now. Let's tell you to fucking knock it off.
He's like, no, can't do that. You gotta have more fun, and you're not having any fun. So I'm gonna make sure you have fun.
I mean, the yanking out of the tooth seemed to be pretty entertaining for Gast.
Yeah. By the way, that.
Oh,
was really,
speaking of which, as
really
you walk
good.
by, the giant strong man is still huddled up in a corner, just like shaking.
Oh, it's okay. I pat him on the back.
He jumps.
Zephyr's gonna pat him
Ah!
too.
Invisible
and
hand.
runs off.
Oh my god.
Amazing.
The more people who are afraid of me, the better.
So, as you all are celebrating, trying to figure out where the fuck Zephyr went, you all hear a voice from behind you. First started off by a slow clap. Not super loud, but definitely audible over the din of the people. Hear a small voice. Congratulations, everybody. That was very, very well done. You turn, and there is a gnome woman. She carries a lute across her back, as well as a flute on her side, pointing her immediately to you all as a musician. Although those of you that work here have never seen her before, and those of you that do not have certainly never witnessed her before. She does a sweeping bow and says, "Welcome to the Witchlight Carnival, everyone. One of my favorite places in all of the verse. Are you
Who are
enjoying?"
you?
She looks towards you, Zephyr. I was just getting to that. Would
I'm
you like to make some
invisible.
guesses,
She
or would you
actually
like me to
see
let me finish?
Ooh.
She sits. You have 3 guesses. The closer you are, well, we'll see. She sits on one of the benches.
Bard of some kind.
One correct. Well done. I am, in fact, a bard.
We're guessing who she is.
Try.
Is she the chick that we heard about at the carousel? What was her name?
Our note taker's not here.
Honorable.
You have not heard of this individual before, nor have you heard anything that matches her description. She says, 1 for 2.
Oh god.
She pulls out her lute and begins plucking a few strings.
As soon as she does that, the invisible Zephyr is gonna pull out his pan flute and start playing too.
Okay. She looks right towards you, Zephyr. Says, "Very nice. Could always use some accompaniment," and then continues playing.
Is there anything on her that would be distinguishing other than tiny gnome woman with a lute?
Make a investigation check.
Oh god.
Okey
And the
dokey.
fact that she can see me while I'm invisible bothers
Yeah.
me.
Okay, Gast. Nothing immediately pops out at you. Her clothing is odd. You know, you've been a lot of places here in Faerun. Her belt is of a style that you've never seen before. The little gadgets and things that she carries in what looks like a little utility belt are very foreign, but you can't put your finger on exactly what's wrong with them or what's different about them, but you certainly don't recognize any of it, and nothing stands out immediately to you.
Is
You're certainly not from around here, though.
she from the Feywild? Is she... Seemed like you
So
said
she
stay
stands up as soon as Revan answers that last question. She says, and that's 3. Now, the most important thing is that it was I who provided you all with your unlimited passes.
Oh, you're the benefactor.
She does another bow. Eliwick Tumblestrom, at your service.
Eliwick.
Eliwick Tumblestrom. She
And
said,
why
go ahead.
would you give us all these passes?
She says, well, let's just say that what you have lost is important to more than just you. At least the finding of what you lost is more important just to more than just you.
I'm
Whom
not
is
sure
it
I
important
understand how.
to?
She says, I wish I could tell you more, but wards and protections and all these silly magics prevent me from going into any further detail without risking too much. But
You make a
are
deal
armed.
too?
She says, oh no, I wouldn't be so foolish as to make a deal with the likes of which you're up against.
Ah.
Or to enter into a carnival of the Fae without a ticket.
But I
be fair,
I
I
just
was a
wanted to work
child.
here.
She looks over towards you, Gast, and says, they do prey on the young.
And the naive.
She nods.
Well, I wanted to work here, so guess what? I worked here. It is what it is.
Well, congratulations on your success.
Oh, thanks. As Zephyr's behind Gast again, playing with her hair.
She says, just for now, and then snaps. Zephyr, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Sure. Kia!
You are fairy fired, Zephyr.
So I'm no longer invisible.
As soon as
She
I see his
sees
outline, I
Zephyr
stick my
just
elbow
deflate.
in your face.
And then she says, worry not. I'll return you to your previous state once we've finished our little chat.
But I was having fun. Blows a raspberry at her.
All right. So she
Well,
says,
why did you give us these cool tickets?
because there is something here tonight that you all must be a part of. A crossing. Although, no one knows exactly where it's going to be yet. You all must seek an audience, Mr. Witch and Mr. Light. They are the only ones who can tell you where it is that you must go.
Exciting. We did see those stupid zombies that came from nowhere earlier.
And they are part of what is going so very, very wrong, not so very, very far from here.
Well, we did
Ned.
put on a good show, so no
Shadow?
one knew they were bad.
What about that shadow we saw that was trying to lure that child away?
She nods gravely. The thieves of the Coven. Keep an eye out for them. 3 of them there are, looking to lure away the impressionable, the desperate. Can't tell you too much about them, for they would soon catch on if they were to be looked for. But you'll know them when you see them.
Coven. Are we dealing with hags?
She looks towards you. I never said this.
Gast is immediately gonna pull her hood down even, like, just, she's trying to disappear in her hood.
So ominous.
She says, well, I understand that an audience with Mr. Witch and Mr. Light is incredibly difficult to come by, and is best not pursued, but stumbled upon naturally. If you are to meet with them, you will meet with them. And when the time is right, you will know it. Until then, enjoy your passes, learn as much as you can, and have fun.
About what?
She looks towards you. Everything.
Ugh. Gotta be a little more specific than that, or else we're just gonna eat and I don't know, go back to the teapot all day and just go on repeat.
She says, well, you could certainly do that. Who knows? It might be exactly what it is that you need to do. She begins playing a little tune, and you see this little white frog hop up onto her lap, and she says, well, it's time Hops and I got on out of here. Until we meet
Hi,
again.
Hops.
And she begins playing on her lute, and Eliwick Tumblestrom
Ha.
begins to float away. What was
I
that?
like-
That's the soundboard.
Who has a soundboard?
It's right above your like voice settings or something, or like your icon on Discord. While you're in a voice chat, there's like an open soundboard thing.
What the fuck?
I don't have one of those.
I don't either.
Like that happened as soon.
Yeah.
That happened as soon as I threw Eliwick up, and so I thought it was something I did. I was like, "What the fuck just happened?"
Oh, I found
That's what it
it.
was too.
Yeah.
John, what have you done?
Yeah. This might be the wrong group to have this power.
You gave me
Eliwick
toys.
floats away.
Well, so no time like the present, I guess. Let's have fun and just
Sure.
act and probably accidentally run into what we need to run into, because I guess that's how it works.
Before we leave this area, I am going to get some cotton candy and I'm going to eat it very suspiciously. It's up to
See,
something.
See, I told you you needed some.
like,
cotton
like,
candy.
were you trying? Like, I was thinking, like, were you trying to eat the cotton candy and act suspicious, or were you suspicious of the cotton candy and then I got it? And that's awesome.
Or is the cotton candy suspicious? Tell us your secrets, cotton candy.
It's definitely up to something, y'all. It's
Yeah.
dissolving.
It's dissolving. It's like
cotton
the
candy
raccoon who
responsible.
tries to put it into the water, and it just.
Yes.
Oh, that's like deep internet lore right there. All right. Well, all right, everybody. Where to next?
She said we not to go to Hall of Illusions, or what was the other one?
The snail racing,
Yeah.
which
Okay.
leaves the gondola swans, the Silver Song Lake. That leaves
Mystery Mine.
the Mystery
Pixie
Mine,
Kingdom.
the Pixie Kingdom,
Mystery Mine. That sounds
And-
cool.
a endless stream of small carts. The small stalls. There's Al Mirage ring tossing, catch the dragon by the tail, goblin wrestling, outstare the Cyclops contests, and many others.
Wrestle.
As soon as Zephyr walks by ring toss, he'd be like, ooh, I gotta play.
Okay. So,
I want to win a prize.
Zephyr running up to the
Really?
Al
What
Mirage
prize?
ring toss. Oh, by the way, Zephyr, as soon as Eliwick floated away, you were invisible again.
He just walks up, invisible to the ring toss. He's like, I want to play.
I just like whispered to Zephyr, why don't you make one of us win? You know, we're just gonna like throw it, and then you actually are the one making it float to where it needs to go.
I could do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who wants to be the accomplice?
I don't want to be an accomplice. I just want to see if I can win the thing.
Okay. Gas, do you want to be the one who pairs with Zeph or Zephyr?
Zeph.
She had to get up for just 1 second.
Oh, okay.
Well, as we have one person here who wishes to take an honest go at it, we'll allow Revan to go first. Revan, make a trio of dexterity checks.
I think Revan is
Oh.
handling with kids.
So, Revan, you do manage to
Oh.
get one of the rings onto the Almirage's little bunny horn. For those of you that aren't familiar with what an Almirage is, it is a small jackrabbit with a unicorn horn. They're absolutely adorable. Let me see if I have one to show y'all.
Makes a difference from
Almirage.
a
Oh.
jackalope.
That. No antlers.
Aww. Aww. Precious.
So, as you see, the one ring that made it onto this little wooden Almirage's head, after you've tossed all three, the little wooden Almirage animates, trots over to the stall runner, allows the ring to be lifted off, and then goes right back to his little spot.
Aw.
Exciting.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, you do not succeed, and your unlimited pass does not get you unlimited attempts at these rides. At these stalls, you get one attempt with your unlimited pass, and then from then on, I believe it is 1 silver to participate.
I'll toss a silver in just for the heck of it.
You may make another attempt. 3 dexterity checks, please.
1 6. Let me just do my.
Whoa. Oh. Oh.
Oh no. Especially for +3 in Dex, this is not. You would think at least one of them would have been successful.
Feels bad, man.
It's the pressure.
I try?
Of course. You may try once
You-
for free.
Do you want an invisible person to help you?
No, I just want to try.
Okay, it's you and me, Zach.
Wait. Actually, I do have one quick question.
Sure.
Do you remember that? Do you remember that thing that gave me that 1d4 to try to utilize on various checks and the like?
Yes.
Is that still in play?
Yes. Would you like to apply it to the 13 you got earlier?
Yes, I would.
You may. Unfortunately, you do still miss, Revan.
Okay.
Worth a shot.
Indeed. Alright. Gast. 3 dexterity checks whenever you are ready. Oh. Oh. Yeah.
Oh,
Yes. Yes. Gast, you manage to get one of the rings onto the little Almirage's head. It animates and brings the ring back, and the shop runner once again says, "Better luck next time. You must
Okay.
get 2 rings onto the horn to win a prize."
And I pay for one?
You may. 1 silver for an attempt.
So 3 again or just 1?
3 again. Oh. Oh. Ah ha ha! Gast. You manage to get 2 of the rings atop the Almirage's head. The shop runner claps and congratulates you, and gestures towards the back of the stalls and says, "You may pick a prize." Gast, you are looking at a row upon row of pinstriped cones. Can't tell what's in any of them. They are all identical, all of the same size and shape. He says you must pick one. Roll a d8.
Okay. Okay.
An 8, you say? Okay. It is a glove puppet in the shape of a wizard.
Oh,
He
I love
hands
it.
it to you,
Thank you.
pulls the bottom out of the cone, and the puppet falls out into your hands. And the shopkeeper says, yes, a rather unique item, this one. Very, very special. He explains to you that as an action, you can move the puppet's arms to cast the minor illusion cantrip.
Ooh!
If you use this cantrip to affect the puppet's appearance and voice, it does not use any of the 3 uses that it has. But if you use it for anything else, say for example you were to use the magic of this puppet to create a small dog or something like this, it would use one of the 3 uses.
Okay, so it has 3. Okay.
It has 3 uses. If you were to use the minor illusion to change the voice or appearance of the puppet, it uses none of its charges.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
She tucks the puppet into her belt, so it looks like she has a little dolly, like attached to her belt.
Okay.
Zampano cracks his
Zephyr
knuckles.
and Zampano.
Yeah.
You, being Witchlight hands, would be fully aware of the consequences. Well, not maybe the consequences. You've never seen anyone actually get away with it. But you would know that cheating is very frowned upon.
Oh,
And
how
generally
fun.
carries consequences, although no one's ever been caught that you know of. And of course, you've never heard of anybody facing these consequences before.
Do they all just disappear?
You've just never heard of it happening.
Oh god. Do we do this?
Zephyr just really wants to try it himself.
Okay, let's just try ourselves.
Oh, you mean you don't want to try and cheat the fake carnival?
No. Can Zephyr still try it while invisible?
Of course.
Yeah.
So Zephyr's gonna go up like, "Hi, I know you can't see me, but I'm gonna try too."
If you
The-
need someone to make him uninvisible for a bit, I
The
can
man
help
says,
with
no,
that.
that's fine. We cater to all here. And he kind of reaches out with the rings and just kind of reaches out into the middle of the air.
Zephyr's gonna take him.
Okay, 3 dexterity checks.
Dexterity checks, not saves, Doug.
Oh.
Boo.
Hey!
Oh. Oh.
Zephyr, you do succeed.
Woohoo!
And
The-
once again, the shop owner gestures back to the many cones around him, and with your roll of a 5, he pulls out one of the cones, pulls the bottom out from it, and another cone falls out of it, except this one looks a lot like a unicorn's horn, and it has something inside of it. You shake it up next to your ear, and it rattles around like a whole bunch of little small pieces rattling around. Zephyr, if you were to open the unicorn horn, the plastic unicorn horn, or replica, whatever the hell the plastic equivalent is in Fantasyland, if you were to open it, it is filled with what looks like little candies. Each time you reach your hand in and pull one out, it is the exact candy that you would hope it would be.
Ooh.
You may roll 2d20. There are 13 pieces inside. Unfortunate roll, by the way, but alas. There are 13 pieces inside Zephyr. Each one also works as if you would cast a good berry spell.
Ooh.
So, inside of this unicorn horn, 13 little pieces of candy. Each time you pluck one of them out, it is exactly the candy you hoped it would be. And it is a good berry.
Can I try again?
Only one prize per stall. You can try one of the other many attractions and many other shops around. Once you've won a prize from one of the stalls, you can't attempt again.
Zampano, it's your turn!
Okay, dokie.
Okay,
Right,
okay.
Let's do this. And I look, laser focus at the horn, and take the rings, and just yeet it.
Yeet. Yeet. Oh.
I'm gonna take that 20.
Oh, yeah, you are. Oh.
Oh no.
Oh. Luckily, a critical success counts as 2 successes. You won on your first attempt.
Yay!
Roll a d8.
Very nice.
Whoa.
A 6. On a 6. He pulls one of the striped cones off of the wall behind him, reaches out, pulls a little string on the bottom, and a leather pouch falls out. He says, "Oh," puts his hands up over his mouth, and he says, "The paint." And he gestures with his hands, and the little leather pouch opens up, and it is what looks like a face painter's kit.
Uh-huh.
Once you take it, he explains to you that this kit will allow you to disguise yourself in whatever way you see fit. So, he says that regardless of your artistic ability, whatever image you paint on your own face, that is how you will appear for 1 hour.
Okay, I've got an idea already. Keeping the beard.
Keeping the
Putting on a
beard.
Yep. Putting the beard on, or actually putting the beard on since I don't have a beard.
Oh god. Okay. So, have you used it?
Yep, this is my
Okay.
the second he says it, I'm using it. Love it.
Fantastic. All right. So, Zampano taking on the appearance of a very, very elegant man in drag with a boisterous beard. You all continue on your way through the carnival.
I feel so pretty, guys.
Do you
What other
feel
games we
bonita?
Yes.
The internet is...
Zephyr so excited about his candy horn that he wants to play another game.
Okay. So you've done the Amaraj ring toss. There is Catch a Dragon by a Tail. There is the Gnomish Poetry Contest.
What?
Ooh.
The Gnomish
That's-
Poetry Contest, yes. There is Goblin Wrestling. There is Guess the Feathers. And Outstare the Cyclops.
I feel like Zephyr would be good at the poetry contest.
Cool. But y'all are kind of moving around the small stalls between like here and here is where we currently are. So I'll just put y'all right on the bridge there. Why is the fucking grid on this map? We don't need the grid. No grid. Grid off. There we go. Okay. So, which one would you all like to do next? Is it the Gnomish Poetry Contest?
Yeah.
Okay. Gnome poetry, among the many, many fine arts of Faerun, is a practice skill like many others. You hear a bell chime as you all approach, and a gnomish man in a very, very elaborate flowing robe hops up and he says, "Sound the chime, it's time to ride. You bring the poem, we'll bring the gnome."
Oh, that was bad.
He looks offended. Well, I would like to see you do better.
Well, we will.
That's what we're here for.
No, we've got a bard. You can't see him, but we've got him.
Another of the bardly arts. Though my words may smell as roses, yours smell of...
What?
Today.
Alright. Performance checks from anyone attempting. 3 of them, to be exact.
Oof.
Continue. Ooh, there's one good one. So, your first stanza comes out a little bit slow.
I'm gonna
Okay.
take the 22.
Stand by. I need you to make 2 more.
Okay.
Oh. Okay. So, Zephyr, back and forth between you and this gnome. Your first attempt is equally as bad as his first. Your second just blows him out of the water. Your third, you're kind of on par with him. But your fourth and fifth, you got a crowd of people beginning to surround. Not like a large crowd, maybe 15 or so people have gathered around, and you see them kind of listening to you. And your fourth recitation kind of just extends into your fifth, using your hands to relay the emotions. Your tone and your cadence are perfect, and by the end, everyone is around, and it's all just slow claps and wows. And the gnomish man says, "Sir, never in my life have I been so thoroughly outclassed. You've earned these." And he gestures back towards the thing, and you may roll another d8.
Woohoo! Bard comes in handy.
A 7, you say. With a 7, he pulls one of the cones out from behind and pulls the string, and a spider falls out.
Oh.
Rustles around on the table a little bit and then looks up towards you with 2 ginormous black bead eyes. It's a stuffed animal.
Oh!
A moving stuffed animal. It skitters up onto your shoulder and just perches up on your shoulder.
He is giddy with this thing on him. He is so happy to have a little buddy. He's like, Gas, look, look! It's like putting it in Gas' face.
Nope. She's literally going to screech like a banshee.
And he's running he's gonna run after her with this held out in his hands, and you just see the spider floating in the air. He's like, look, it's so awesome!
There's something mildly crazed in her eye. Like, she looks like she's about to go for her glade for a second. She has to remind herself, no, don't
the
kill him.
spider's little black beady eye, not big black bead eyes go wider as they see Gast like kind of look back in panic, and then Zephyr, it turns around and throws its little butt forward and sends a web out to hit you in the chest, and then adheres to your chest.
Oh.
It's like clinging to you like, no!
Okay.
He just hugs it a little bit. Don't worry. I'll never let her hurt you.
Zephyr, as it clings to you, and you run after Gast, you lose track of where you're heading for just a moment, and you run headfirst into what is a tree in front of you. Except, instead of crashing squarely into it, you run up it.
Ah!
You have the benefit of spider climb.
Sweet.
You all see Zephyr just like kind of hanging sideways off of the tree.
That is awesome.
God, it's infected him.
Dude, no, because they can't see me yet, so I would, at this point, relinquish being invisible. Like, guys, look at this! And he's like running around the tree, the tree trunk.
Wow.
We put him out of his misery now.
What?
It's one of these ones, guys. It's one of these guys. Don't be scared.
Oh, that is awesome. How long does it last?
1 hour.
Okay.
Wow. Getting all the hour buffs.
Well, who else would like to participate in any of the small stalls? Anyone else for now?
I think I've had my fill of the small stalls.
Okay.
Oh, you didn't come through, sweetie.
Can we do pin the tail on the dragon?
Pin the tail on the dragon. Catch the dragon by the tail.
That.
Catch the dragon by the tail. Absolutely. So, from one of the nearby stalls, you hear a caller, "Prizes, prizes, prizes! Catch the fairy dragon by the tail and win a piece of its hoard!" As you all approach, you see a pair of gnomish children blindfolded and standing in a booth. You see them kind of crouched low as a purple and red dragon giggles to itself and turns invisible and pops away and then teleports to another part of the thing, another part of the tent, swoops down right in front of them. The kids are having a fantastic time, but never stood a chance at catching this little fucker.
I'll try. I think I'll try this one.
All right. Anyone who would like to try?
I'll try.
Fantastic.
Oh yeah. All of us.
Fantastic. All three of you.
4.
All four of you. All four of you. Make wisdom perception checks at disadvantage.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Gassed. As the four of you are tumbling around inside of the cart, they let as many people as they want attempt this at once. So they could fill the cart up with people if they wanted to, but very unlikely to still catch them. As you all are running around in there, bumping into each other, tripping over each other, Gassed, why don't you describe to us exactly what it is that you're doing while they're all running around and going nuts trying to catch this thing?
I am literally standing perfectly still with my hands out.
Fantastic.
like my hands cupped together for it to land in.
Fantastic. So, Gast, your hands outstretched in front of you, perfectly still as the grave, some might say. The others running around you, tripping over each other, tumbling into one another. The onlookers can see the fairy dragon popping into and out of existence, working its ass off to avoid the three of them, and somehow forgetting that you were there. A brief moment later, you feel the brush of wind whip past your hands. You lash out in one swift motion, and the dragon is caught by the tail. It immediately stops in midair and flutters back up to you with dragonfly wings and says, "You caught me! I haven't been caught in over a year! Congratulations!" With that, you all hear the people gather begin to clap uproariously. This is the first time that this dragon has been caught in over a year. Congratulations, the shop owner congratulates you and rewards you with 2 rolls, Gast.
Ooh.
Of what?
2d8.
2d8s. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
You good? A 2. Okay. So, you have also become the recipient of a magical face paint. Oh, 3s. 2 3s. Oh. Oh.
Oh.
Oh.
I'm nervous.
The shopkeep says as much as he pulls the bottoms out of 2 of the cones, and he's oh. Well then. Lucky, aren't we? And he pushes across 2 what looks like folded up envelopes. Inside is a fine pink dust. It says, "Now you be careful with that. Wondrous things the pixie dust can do, but also strange and unusual. You have 2 packets of pixie dust." You don't know what that does yet.
Yeah.
Can I ask him what it does? Like, what does this do?
Oh, what doesn't it do?
Doesn't help.
Okay. Can you elaborate, mister?
Oh. Can anyone really elaborate on the wonders of the pixie dust?
Is there a wizard around?
There's a
I just
wizard
asked
in
the crowd.
all of
Ask
us,
the fit.
friend.
Oh god. Okay. Can the wizard inside you identify this pixie dust?
No, I have no clue what it does.
Oh my god.
Can I ask my wizard puppet? You said it spoke.
Okay. That is an interesting use of the rule that allows you to use mind religion to do anything you want to with the puppet. So what exactly do you do, Gast?
I show the wizard puppet on my belt the pixie dust, and I'm just like, what does this stuff do?
So you have to give a command to the puppet to activate its thing. Like you would say, I want the puppet to look like a giant dinosaur that speaks on command for a minute, like for the minor illusion. What do you tell the puppet to do?
I would like the puppet to appear. I would like the puppet to be a wizard who knows things about pixies.
You say you want the puppet to be a wizard that knows things about pixies.
Or look like. I don't know. Yes. It's a minor
A
illusion.
brief moment
right?
later, you hear your ah! Where am I? Where's my library? What am I doing here?
Uh-oh. Are we is this a real wizard that we trapped?
They could just kidnap a wizard, guys.
Oh my god!
Oh my god.
What is this place?
Hi,
Your puppet is looking around. Ah!
I have a couple questions, if you don't mind, very quickly.
Oh yes, of course.
Pixie dust. What does it do?
Ah, yes. Many things, many things.
Don't tell us what it doesn't it do.
He says, may I see the pixie dust, please? Odd that I'd be pulled away from my office to be asked specific questions about my particular field of study.
Oh my
I'm
god.
going to show him the pixie dust.
Oh, pink pixie dust. Potent, potent stuff. You know, some say that there is no limits to its power. Others say it makes you fly for 30 feet.
Okay.
And
Unknown. Thank you.
Yes.
is
Can I ask his name real quick before he goes away?
My name, Balthazar.
Oh, fuck. Thank you, Balthazar.
Balthazar, Balthazar, and he continues on, and then the puppet just slumps over.
well,
Thank
That
you,
was
Sean.
amazing.
That was amazing.
I think there are some moral quandaries to using this puppet.
She
Very
just kind of
tragic.
has this really dark smile on her face. Yeah, I know.
But I guess that isn't for us to judge this gift.
All right, everybody.
As
Let's
long
go
as
ahead and
I
take
do
our
it
break.
On the doll. It still has 3 charges. Cool.
Is it 3 charges forever?
It's
or
3 charges if you use it for anything not directly related to the doll. I don't think that used a charge.
Nope.
No.
All right, yeah, let's take our break.
I'm
My dog's just
sorry.
starving.
I
I am
will-
going to.
Okay.
Yep, let's go ahead and take a break. As soon as we come back, we will continue on with more small stalls or moving on to the next attraction, whichever you all prefer.
Back in 10.
All right, back in 10. All right, everybody. We are back after several successful rides and crowning one of you the winner of the custard eating contest, several of you falling to the terrible, terrible custard damage before proceeding on and winning a whole bunch of prizes and stuff. The carnival is still very much yours. We are going to advance our time by 1 hour. And, oddly enough, everybody, as you all watch, the lights begin to dim just the tiniest little bit, almost imperceptibly so.
No.
Yeah. You see the lights begin to dim, and the smiles on the faces, while still bright, begin to fade ever so much.
Failed.
Something has happened. Somewhere else in the park. Something that you all did not see. Seems to have affected the mood of the carnival. Yeah. Absolutely. So, if you were to ask one of the passersby that looks a little less happy than the others, a little less jovial, he would walk by and say, "Oh, it was terrible, terrible. If it wasn't for Mr. Witch and Mr. Light, they probably would have lost their lives. You see, it was like a mirror into another land." Old man walking by, he has a cane. You can tell he was just waiting for someone to ask him to tell a story. As the gateway opened up into another land, rolling hills of what looked like purple flesh. Strange, I've never seen anything like it in my many, many days, in my many, many travels. Strange creatures there were, floating feet above the ground, long flowing robes and tentacles for faces.
Oh, don't like that.
No, me either. It's quite dreadful. Quite dreadful indeed, this domain we were viewing into. A domain of dread, perhaps.
Dun, dun, dun.
Luckily, Mr. Rich and Mr. Light arrived just in time. Shut the portal. It assured us all that it was just a part of the show, but you see the hunger in those beasts' eyes, and the fear in Mr. Witch and Mr. Light. People could see through it. Anyway, wonderful carnival, eh?
Yeah! It's the best carnival on this plane.
It really is indeed. I think I'll go get some cotton candy. And he shuffles
Yeah!
off.
Cotton candy's amazing.
Be careful, that cotton candy, it melts.
He turns back towards you. Like the hills. Oh,
What?
and shuffles away.
What's that supposed to mean? He doesn't answer, does he?
Oh no, he's already halfway to his cotton candy.
Since we're so close to the gondola swans, do we want to check them out?
I guess.
It's a ride.
Yeah.
Sure.
Fantastic. So to the gondola swans. As you all approach a massive lake, for those of you that frequent this area, this was but a small little trout pond a couple days ago, and somehow it has engorged its banks and to encompass several dozen feet square. Rather large lake, but it looks rather deep as well. Enormous swans glide through the water here, pulling ornate wooden gondolas draped in flowers. The swans disappear into banks of silver mist as they wend their way down the river. The jetty extends ahead, at the end of which a waiting swan preens its feathers. It says, "Welcome, welcome. Please, board. Plenty of room for all of you."
Oh, they're pretty. Gas gonna make heart eyes at it because it's pretty.
Alright,
Found
it
the
is in
soft spot.
fact a very beautiful giant swan. The feathers seem to sheen almost opalescently. Kind of looks wistfully off into the distance as you all board. Says, "What languages do you all speak so that we may better communicate during our journey?" "I speak Orin. And common, of course, if we must proceed in the common tongue." And as she says that, the gondola kind of drifts away from the dock and drifts off into the mist.
Well, in my case, I can speak Common, Elvish, Dwarvish, Goblin, Orc, and Sylvan.
I know some of those ones too. I know Dwarvish and Sylvan.
Sylvan, an elegant
Water.
language indeed. She switches to Sylvan.
I know Sylvan as well.
Gas, do you speak Sylvan?
Yes.
Really? All of you speak
I do,
Sylvan? Coinky dink. That.
You told us this would be Feywild related.
Indeed.
I think mine comes with my race. I think.
Okay. So, she speaks in Sylvan, her voice flowing beautifully. She says, "Such a wonderful thing to work in a place of such joy. But sometimes I wonder." She turns her head to look at the four of you. "What is joy? You know? Could you explain it to me?" Her long neck kind of cranes down to be closer to you. "Do any of you know?"
Maybe our bard person has a good description of joy.
Joy is an amazing feeling of just happiness inside you, and just this glow that you get inside you of just something happens, or you do something, or you get something, and it just, you feel this happiness inside you that you just light up from.
I think I understand. See, I've
I
only
like
been
that.
awake for a few days now.
Oh, you're just a baby.
Well,
Aww. He pets him.
she smiles. Or at least as much as a swan can smile.
See, that's joy.
I understand. But existing, acknowledging my existence, it's so strange. The world is so full of magic. A wave of the hand can do so much. How do I know that I really exist when magic is what brought me to this realization? She stares off into the silvery mist.
Do you have
How
your
do
own?
we know?
Do you have your own thoughts? Do you have your own emotions?
Sounds like it.
I do. I think...
Then you have to exist, because they're not somebody else's thoughts, they're your thoughts.
Indeed. Perhaps in time, I will understand more. But still, in a world where time means so little, when a wizard can wave his hand and just tell it to stop. She looks towards you. Is time real?
Oh god.
Time is a construct.
She looks at the boat and pecks at it a couple times, makes a thunking sound. She says, a construct couldn't have so much impact.
But this boat has an impact as well. If we didn't have this boat, we'd be in the water.
She takes a deep breath and looks off contemplatively into the distance, into the silvery moonlight.
All time is a measurement. It doesn't exist nor not exist. It's just there.
Wow. Deep thoughts.
Wow.
No, funny story is I've actually had this specific conversation
Yeah,
multiple
same.
times.
Time is a construct. It does not exist without people saying it exists.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. So the swan, thoroughly impressed with your musings, nods. Her mood brightens. She says, that was a truly lovely conversation. I shall relay what you've told me about joy and about the inconsequentiality of time, and yet its weight to affect us all. And with that, she pulls you all up along the side of the docks. There's a bit of a line, a few other boats waiting to disembark. You could see a dwarven man fall off of his swan boat and fall into the water. A bunch of Witchlight hands have to help him back in. It's holding things up. But yeah. So she turns back and she says, it was a wonderful conversation. I'm only meant to pontificate during our rides, but have you all heard anything else about anything interesting happening around here?
Did you talk to a Kenku recently?
Kenku?
There's a lot of crazy things going on here. Did you see did you hear about the show we put on with those things that came out of the walls?
That was you? Well, congratulations. Yeah. That was truly wonderful.
And then we saved a little girl. And he just rambles on about all the things that they've been doing.
Ooh. Well, I did hear. Oh, I shouldn't be telling you this. And she kind of looks around conspiratorially. Did you hear that Candlefoot the Mime? He was about to declare his love for the mermaid in front of everyone. But then the words left him in a gasp. He couldn't speak. It was most unusual. He hasn't spoken a word since. Palasha was very upset. And it's odd because normally Candlefoot just never shuts up.
Something
Did he-
smells fishy.
Didn't.
Her eyes go wide. Don't say that around Palasha. She'll be very, very offended. God damn it.
Oh, fucking God.
Oh, here we go. Okay. So, you all begin to disembark. She says, "Wonderful conversation, everybody. You all are quite the set of powerful minds. I haven't had a conversation this exhilarating since I last spoke with Burley the Bugbear. Everyone thinks he's just a big brute, but he's got the real head on his shoulders, a profound mind, simply wasted guarding the staff wagons.
Bears are so misunderstood.
So misunderstood." So, as you all disembark, let's go ahead and get perception checks from everybody.
Aw.
Or better yet, who has the highest passive perception amongst you?
15?
I've got a 16.
16, you say.
11.
16, you say.
I finally made a non-perceptive character. First time in a long time.
Brevin, with a 16, as Featherine drifts off to pick up her next group of people, you see another boat coming back towards the pier. Except you're the first one to notice an inky, black substance beginning to spread across the surface of the water, a few feet behind the nearest swan boat. From the center of the black inky mass forming behind the swan and the perfectly clear, otherwise, water, you see a shark fin rise up out of it.
No!
A mer shark?
Revan,
Fin.
how do you respond?
He, how far out is it?
The shark is currently 15 feet from shore, 10 feet from the swan.
I am going to notch an arrow and alert my companions about this.
So, as you
And
speak
draw bead
out,
upon said fan.
as you speak out and shout, pointing out towards the water, a couple of the handlers turn towards the direction and shout, "Evacuate the pond!" The swans immediately take flight, pulling their gondolas alongside with them.
Oh, thank goodness.
You see the head of a massive shark breach the water, swimming directly towards you all. It reaches the shore, stands up, and emerges. It looks around. You can see a crazed hunger in its eyes. It lets out a bellowing roar towards you all. And roll initiative.
Where are we?
Yeah, all the way at the bottom.
Why am I so close to this thing?
Karma.
Maurice!
That's a great name.
Oh, you all should be able to see the names.
We could have been friends, Maurice!
Let me fix that. Weird. You shouldn't be able to see his name. That's super odd. Oh well.
We can't anymore.
Okay, good. Okay. So, he roars and comes stumbling out from the lake.
Roll his initiative, my dude.
Yeah. Okay. Fantastic. Maurice did not do well. So he comes stumbling out of the lake and he begins muttering and burbling in this strange language that none of you recognize. Does anyone speak Aquan?
Nope.
No.
No, I do not.
That's a very niche language. Comes bubbling out of the water, speaking complete incoherence. What do you do, Zephyr?
He is not happy about this, so as he's running away, he is going to sling insults at it.
Wisdom saving throw result is a 4. His eyes go all wide. And he doesn't understand what you said, but he knows it wasn't nice.
And then he is going to have disadvantage on the next attack roll it makes.
Okay.
And I am going to go hide behind Revan.
Okay,
That'll
Revan.
be my turn.
With this creature here, I'm going to utilize my favorite foe feature to add 1d4 to any hits made on it. And I'm going to let fly with my longbow.
Okay. 18 strikes the beast square in the shoulder. It whips around and looks down at its open wound and looks back towards you and rips the arrow out and throws it to the ground. Roll damage. 7 pierce.
7 plus with the favorite foe thing.
Okay.
11.
Okay, another 4. Okay. You hear
Revan
the
is
gathered
going
crowd, the
put his
onlookers.
bow up.
Go ahead.
He's going to then drop his bow and go for his short swords because he's pretty sure he's going to get charged at.
Okay. So you can hear the people behind you, the gathered onlookers, once again, the goers of this carnival, not realizing the danger that they're in. They're not oohing and awing as they were with the zombies, but they are definitely staying a little too close. You hear them saying, "A were creature? No, it couldn't be a were creature. Do you see how that arrow struck him?" You hear them talking like that, kind of guessing at what this creature might be. Gast, what do you do?
I spin my halberd, and when you are going to back off, my friends, and I'm going to cast Hex. Just her eyes get all like creepy, and I hit it with my halberd.
16 hits.
For 5
slashing.
Ooh, 11
wow.
slashing.
Okay.
Well, I'm sorry, necrotic. 5 slashing.
Okay. His black eyes are impossible to read, but they go wide as you strike him, and he turns around. Make an insight check, Gast. Confusion and fear are visible on this strange creature's face, Gast. You can see that it doesn't quite understand what's happening. With a natural 20. Furthermore, you can see chains dangling from its wrists. Right before it throws up its arms, bellows, and charges at you.
Do I have time to tell them that something's wrong with it? Like it.
Yeah, you could certainly shout that out
It's
right before it lunges at you and tries to punch you in the face.
Barrels into me.
Yeah, exactly.
I deserve it at this point.
So Gast looks back and says that something's wrong right before this creature barrels into her and punches her. 15 to hit, Gast.
Yes.
Miss. So it lets loose this wild haymaker of a punch. Its shark head thrown back and howling at the wind, howling at the air. Revan, are you missing hit points?
1.
Is this from the custard damage or no?
This
Zombie
is not from
damage?
the custard damage.
This is not from the custard damage. So, Gast, after it
This
swings...
is from the fight with the. This is from the fight with the zombies.
Got it. After it swings and misses at you, Gast, you see it freeze, dead in its tracks for a second. Its nostrils flare, and you see its eyes go white. Drool begins to dribble down from its mouth as it looks over towards Revan. Sniffs heavily at the air. Anyone looking back at Revan would see just a little bit of blood coming from his nose where the zombie had punched him. Maurice shoves you out of the way, Gast, and charges at Revan headfirst.
Oh god.
Revan, 22 to hit. Big hit.
Oof. Yeah, that'll hit.
Revan, 7
Wait.
piercing as its mouth... It doesn't so much as bite you as much as it runs right at you with its mouth open.
Oof, that hurt.
It throws its head back in a frenzy. It brings us to Zampano.
Okay, try to find a way we can calm this guy down or even talk with this guy. I'm just gonna ask it a question in Sylvan and see if that helps. Does that do anything?
Zampano, as you speak to it in Sylvan, it continues its mindless frenzy. Its eyes still white. It does not understand you.
Good.
Zampano, we're gonna put you right there, officially.
All right. Can I use like a skill as my turn to see if there's anything we can like figure
Yeah.
out? Or...
Yeah, absolutely. You can use your bonus action. Well, okay. So if you'd like to use a skill that could potentially calm him down, I would say persuasion or intimidation. Alternatively, you could use your bonus action to try to figure out a little bit more about the situation. So in other words, if you'd like to affect him directly, action. If you want to figure out information, bonus action.
Okay, information.
So bonus action for investigation, insight, or I would say perception as well.
Go with perception.
23, very good. So, in addition to the chains that you see dangling from his wrist attached to manacles, you can see a lot of very obvious wounds that would lead you to believe that this creature had been beaten quite mercilessly.
Okay. Oh gosh. I don't want to keep on beating him up. So I'm just gonna pull my hands up and be like, hey, and like, you know, kind of like I do with animals or like a lion taming, kind of just like do sort of like protective stance.
Are
But
you
also like,
you're proficient in animal handling, but it's going to be a persuasion check. Do you have proficiency in persuasion?
no.
You may add your proficiency to persuasion as if you did. So make a charisma check with your proficiency
Alright,
bonus.
So it's +2.
+17.
So +2.
19. With a 19.
Oh,
The creature's
spooky
eyes
music.
go black, switching from the white, and you see a sadness come over its face. And it looks around towards Revan and back towards Gast and towards Zephyr. You can see its head kind of twitch away from you all, and it kind of takes a step back. It mumbles in this strange burbling language.
Do we have anyone that speaks Aquan? I turn to the crowd. Is the crowd all gone?
No, the crowd's still very much there.
Okay, so I'm just gonna say it in like a sort of like wistful, still kind of theatric voice. As if we're putting on an act.
Okay. The crowd around shakes their head, and one of them says, "It sounds..." Pirate-looking guy. Looks like he's a sailor. "It sounds like Aquan. The language of the sea. And then...
You speak it, my man.
I do not. I've only heard it spoken. Usually not very kindly.
Oh.
I'm not hearing any words that I recognize from this brutish beast. He turns. Does anybody speak Aquan? At this point, you see a woman rise out from the water.
Oh, fish lady. Of course.
You hear a few people whispering, Palasha, Palasha. She approaches you all, and it's almost like you can hear a song emanating from her without her even singing or playing any instruments. She says, in common to you all, I speak Aquan. Is the beast... is it safe?
Oh, I think so. He is calm now.
It looks towards Revan and sniffs a little bit, and then, like, shakes its head and backs away from him.
Revan, just maybe back up, too. Just give him some space.
The pirate-looking guy says, it's 'cause he's wounded. Another person, I can help with that. And a young priest runs out to Revan and rubs his hands together. I'm very new to this, so I'm sorry. And he puts his hands on you, Revan. Roll a D100, please. Unless, of course, you do try to resist this guy.
Let's see what happens.
All right. Fantastic. Your hair turns bright orange.
Wow.
And you regain... You regain enough hit points to get back at full. The young priest looks at his hands. It's always orange. And turns around and walks away.
Maybe try blue next time.
What god do you even serve that it changes hair color?
Yes! Goodbye!
The god of fabulousness, of
Yes,
course.
goodbye.
So, Palasha approaches. Beautiful mermaid. Scales coming up to just about her mid-torso. Opalescent purples and pinks and whites. She approaches, stops maybe 15, 20 feet from shore, and she speaks in Aquan, and it flows away from her. Nothing like this burbling, gargling speech that this creature is speaking. And it speaks back to her. And Palasha says, his name is Maurice, and he is lost. He says he escaped from a dark place, a cruel place. He is saddened to find that this place is also cruel. It kind of looks up towards you all and tilts its head down a little bit.
We were scared.
He gave us quite the surprise there.
You tried to eat me.
It was your fault you were bleeding.
Its mouth is still, like, hanging open, and it, like, snaps its jaw shut and takes a step back and gurgles. And she says, he apologizes. He says that his masters had not fed him for 4 days. He was to... She furrows her brow, and you hear her speak back to him in Aquan. He was to perform an execution. He did not wish to. And so he escaped. From where?
I'm so sorry.
She nods as the creature speaks back to her for a moment. Oh, no fight. Wrong music. No.
Fight.
His eyes go white. No. She says, Markovia. Is this name familiar to any of you?
No.
I don't know, is it?
Make a history check. Arcana would also be appropriate for anybody proficient. Very high check. No good.
I'm not
Nope.
proficient in either one of them.
Okay. Anybody proficient in history or arcana can attempt to check. Okay.
Intelligence was my dump stat.
Nice.
Man, I am bad at things. So many things.
You all hear a deep baritone voice. Markovia is a cursed land of cruel experimentation and foul sciences. You all turn to see Mr. Witch standing near the back of the crowd. He looks towards you all. Says nothing to you directly. He just kind of looks towards you appraisingly for a moment. And looks back. Palasha, see to it that Maurice is fed, and that he wants for nothing during his stay here. When he is ready, send him to the staff area to speak with us. Palasha nods. Mr. Witch then turns towards you all. Appraisingly once again. Kind of narrows his eyes a little bit and turns to walk away. Maurice turns towards you all, says in mumbling common to Revan, "Sorry, boy." And turns back into the water.
Okay, I guess we got a new co-worker.
Now, the look on Brevin's face is pretty obvious that he still wants to stab this guy.
No, Evan, don't. He friend-shaped now.
He bit me in the stomach.
It was his nature. He didn't know
Acting
any
like you
better.
haven't been bitten before.
It's in my nature to stab the things that try to kill me, so they can't try to kill me again.
He's confused and lost.
He'll be less confused by the time I'm done.
Well, oh gosh,
I'm
okay.
just going to stuff cotton candy in Revan's mouth because it's magical and solves all problems.
Love it.
Just hush.
Well,
He
another
grumbles and
soul
shakes
helped.
his blades.
So, around you all, the gondola swans begin to return to the lake. Their handlers assisting people back into the line. The people crowded around you all begin to shuffle back into a queue. And the carnival recommences as if nothing happened.
Curiouser and curiouser.
Well, that wasn't normal.
Yeah, did we learn anything from this?
Poor Shark Boy.
No.
Lady said we were
If
supposed
you
to
see
learn about
fans
things.
open, if you see fans open fire before they even get to shore, that's what I learned.
Okay.
Whoa. I don't think that's what we were supposed to learn.
Well,
But it's
It-
what I learned.
yeah, it's the unintentional thing that we did learn. And we can't unlearn it. And maybe that's the real lesson. Can't unlearn murder.
Water.
All right, everybody. Where to?
Boot Lady's gonna be so proud of us.
Loot
Oh.
lady.
I've already forgotten her name.
Well, the thing is on the other places that we had not really been at, We've been at the lake, feasting, orchard, carousel, lost property.
Go to the mine.
Dragonfly rods. Yeah, basically it's mines. And technically, I suppose Pixie Kingdom, but that's kind of right by where the bubble pod was.
Yeah, but we could go to the Pixie Kingdom on the way to the mine.
Yep.
Well, if it makes any difference to you all, we only have time for one more event this evening.
Oh, let's go to the mine. That weird sun thing looks cool.
Indeed. All right. And plus, Mel had also shown some interest in the Pixie Kingdom, so if we had to choose one, let's probably go for the mine. Good choice, everybody. All right. So, as you all pass by the big top, Aura's performance likely has already happened. Or no, Aura's performance is likely to come up pretty soon here, but not quite yet. But you will make your way past the big top, past the ticket booth and the Calliope. Speaking of which, as you all pass by the Calliope, a merry tune spills forth from the massive instrument on the back of a brightly painted wagon. As you all pass by, a monkey wearing a cloak covered with buttons turns a handle at the wagon's rear, sending music into the air from rows and rows of golden whistles. As you watch, a goblin dressed as a ladybug with little fairy wings toddles up to you, rattling a tin cup. The monkey, atop the cart, while still spinning the thing, speaks down to you, "Spare a button, if you please. I will sew it next to all of these," gesturing towards his coat. "I offer nothing in its place besides a smile upon my face."
Aww.
The monkey then opens its mouth and shows a whole bunch of teeth.
Who's the one waking up all these animals?
So,
But anyways, do we have buttons to give?
I do not.
I have no clothes. Barely any clothes.
Zephyr looks down at one of his buttons, very sad, but he knows it'll make the monkey happy, so he pops off one of his buttons and says, "Here!"
the goblin wearing the ladybug says, "Much obliged!" Holds out the cup for the button.
He's gonna, do a flourish and set it nicely, gently into the cup.
The goblin runs up the Calliope steps and sews it onto the other hundreds of buttons sewn onto this monkey's jacket, who then smiles broadly.
Zephyr will smile and clap.
Fantastic. So, as you all... Oh my god. So, as everyone claps and you all turn to walk away, you hear the music, the beautiful music of the Calliope following behind you, and you hear the sound of the monkey call out, "In times of need, listen for the sounds of the Calliope."
Okay.
What was that again?
Okay.
In times of need, listen for the sound of the Calliope.
Okay.
Very well. So, working your way across the carnival, passing by many more small booths, once again seeing people emerge from the spout of the bubble pop teapot and float away off into the rest of the carnival. You eventually make your way all the way to the Mystery Mine. Propelled by magic, mine carts laden with fairgoers trundle into an opening carved like a dragon's mouth. The carts reappear moments later on the other side of the attraction, with the passengers expressing a mixture of bewilderment, fear, and excitement. A few of them lose their lunch, pale as ghosts, immediately as they exit from the carnival, stumbling away, mumbling to themselves. Near the entrance, a male dwarf dressed like a wizard shouts, "Unlock the mysteries of your mind in the Mystery Mine! He has bushy eyebrows, wears a pointy hat, and holds a large clockwork contraption shaped like a giant eye. He looks towards you all. Do you possess the courage, the fortitude of will to enter into the mystery mine?
Heck yeah!
Yeah.
Then gaze upon this, and he holds it up towards you. The all-seeing eye.
Oh, the eye.
The claw.
Now, each of you, what is the creature in all of this world that you fear the most?
Oh.
Let's...
Oh, it's gotta be that darn dog with the 3 heads.
a Cerberus.
This is tough.
Creature I fear most.
Indeed.
A doppelganger.
Oh,
Gast is
Zampano fears one that can take his own form.
going to very quietly say, hags.
Oh no.
Womp.
Zampano. 1 second. Gast fears the coven.
Oh, we got news for you, sister.
And finally, Revan fears what?
His
Red
mom.
dragons.
Red dragons. Fantastic. So the wizard, upon each of you staring into the eye, he nods solemnly. And he says, brace yourselves, for within you shall face your fears. Into the cart with you. He gestures towards the cart.
Yay!
Cool, cool, cool. Cool, cool.
Fantastic. So, as you all enter into the cart, the sounds of the fair quickly begin to fade away behind you. Darkness envelops you. Wind rushes from unusual angles. Zampano, somebody is sitting next to you. Somebody that you don't remember there a moment ago.
And
You turn to look upon who is there next to you, Zampano. And it is you.
how shocking.
I need you to make a wisdom saving throw at disadvantage, Zampano. The rest of you, as you see this strange apparition, must also succeed on wisdom saving throws.
Okay.
What's that?
Find Zampano terrifying.
Anyone who received less than a 10 finds this apparition to be truly frightful. You scream uncontrollably for a few seconds before you calm down, wondering what came over you. Let's see. Revan and Zephyr. Tally successes, please.
Woohoo!
And, of course, Gast and Zampano. Note
Yeah.
failures.
Okay.
So one failure for.
Dun dun dun.
Next, as you continue through the darkness, you erupt from this pure, black, strange void of substance into a fiery cavern. Deep, deep in the heart of a volcano, lava pours from the ceilings and walls. Legions of kobolds march in unison, all staring up towards the enormous form of an ancient red dragon perched atop its throne. It looks down towards you and speaks warnings in Draconic before leaping from its throne and flying directly towards you all, roaring a mighty roar. All of you make wisdom saves again. Revan, you are at disadvantage.
Womp.
Oh, no!
I'm gonna take that 20.
I'm scared of everything.
I'm gonna
Oh
take
my,
that
I'm
20.
Poor
Yeah.
Zompano. So, more blood-curdling shrieks. Although, Revan, you stand steadfast in the face of this terrible beast. Zephyr,
take my
you
20.
also are unaffected by this, laughing hysterically as this creature barrels towards you all. Gast and Zompano scream and scream in utmost terror. Zephyr and Revan mark successes. Gast and Zompano tally failures. Next, you exit into a black lake. Dark stone on either side of you. The wailing of souls pass by. You can see the water beneath you is made of endless faces, flowing as if through a river. Their mournful howls cease as all of their eyes are drawn to the shoreline, where an enormous three-headed beast growls down at you. It speaks in infernal, yet all of you somehow understand it to say interlopers. One of the three heads looms down to bite yours from its shoulders. Wisdom saves. Zephyr's at disadvantage.
Finally, something doesn't
Did I
scare
finally pass?
me. Puppy!
This time, Zephyr loses it. Absolutely terrified. Screaming at the top of his lungs, this time not in glee or excitement, but pure terror. Now, the lake darkens, the air around you cools, and the stench of a bog fills your nostrils. You exit out from the underworld into a place far more foul. Huts that were once beautiful homes rot from within. You can hear the cackling of mad women, 3 of them in the distance. The lake on which you travel bends, or the river on which you travel bends around a corner, and you see 3 figures hunched over a cauldron. They drop items, seemingly at random in. You see them doing their dark work. All 3 of them throw their cowls back and cackle madly into the wind before all 3 turn to look upon you, their fingers outstretched to point. Then turning, making a come here gesture. As the cart lifts off the ground and begins to float towards them, it shrinks and shrinks. It is clear you are bound for that cauldron. Wisdom saving throws. Oh no! Zompano. Revan.
Let me do that one little D4 thing I have just to see, but that's gonna matter. Never mind. What did I
No.
follow?
12's the DC. Fantastic.
Yeah.
So, you all plunge down towards the bubbling green brew, the 3 hags cackling in mad laughter. You plunge through the surface and into light as you exit out the other side of the train car. Everyone's kind of looking around as you all kind of cower in your seats. A few of you standing up tall, most of you rather shook by the experience. The dwarf approaches. So, what you all think?
Gary.
Did anybody fail all of them?
No.
Did
No, I
anybody
got
fail
2 and
3?
No.
Nope.
Good. Very good. Did anybody succeed on all of them?
Nope.
I failed 1.
Okay. Alright. The howling experience sticks with you for a few moments longer. quickly fades. So yeah. That is the mystery mine.
I don't think I'm ever gonna do that one again.
Hard pass.
I'm surprised spiders weren't there.
We're talking gas spheres, not aces. Fantastic.
Well, that was an experience.
Indeed. All right, everybody. What would you like to do next? Still got a little bit of time before Aura's performance. She is scheduled to perform at the Big Top just before the extravaganza. She is the opening act, if you will.
Do we want to go to the Pixie Kingdom?
I suppose so.
Yeah, what could be scary about the Pixie Kingdom?
Zompano, as you say that, a tiny wasp flies by your face,
Oh no,
and then up into the sky towards a tree nearby.
a tiny wasp. How
Tiny wasp.
terrifying.
Little guy. It's a little guy. I don't know why I'm saying that. Wasps are not cute. Evil little bastards. Alright. So.
Is this a portent of what's to come?
No. Of course not. Alright,
What's to come is so much worse.
Good stuff. Alright. So, heading over to the Pixie Kingdom.
Yes.
Pixie Kingdom. Alright. Fantastic. So, you all make your way over there. A copse of oak trees shelters a miniaturized fairground. Almost a one-to-one recreation of the Witchlight Carnival. Tiny, fitting inside the trunk of an oak. At its heart, a hamster runs inside a tiny Ferris wheel, encircled by minuscule wagons and candy stalls. A pixie sits cross-legged in the hollow of a tree at the entrance to this beautiful little miniaturized realm. Pixie flies up. How you doing, guys? About 6 inches tall. Jeremy Plumbutt. Pleased to meet y'all.
Jeremy Plumbutt Pixie. Wow.
Jeremy Plumbutt, Pixie. Oh, y'all never seen a pixie before?
No.
What, you thought we were all just little ladies flying around? And oh, look at me and my little wee. No! It's a harmful stereotype. Now, before each of you goes in there, we need you to pick your pixie names.
Okay.
Why do I need a different name?
Why do you need a different name? You need a pixie name. You're gonna go into the pixie realm, you need a pixie name. Do I really need to explain this to you?
It's like you need a fairy name when you go visit the fairies.
Right. I could name you for you. Jellybean Starfish. Looks like what your name should be. Unless you want to pick one for yourself, of course.
I think Revan's name should be Sugar Bunny Fluffy Toes.
Sugar Bunny Fluffy Toes! Welcome to the Pixie Kingdom, brother. And he snaps his fingers, and Revan shrinks down until he is just as tall as Jeremy Plumbutt, and has a pair of pixie wings.
Better this way.
Revan wears a name tag that says what again?
Sugar Bunny Fluffy Toes.
Sugar Bunny Fluffy Toes.
Are you talking about Gast?
No,
Revan.
Revan. Revan.
Oh.
This just happened to Revan.
Oh.
Revan makes a note that the first halfling he sees take a toe off. That way it's fluffy toes.
I wish you guys could see Hank's face right now.
Jeremy Plumbutt takes out his clipboard. All right, I don't got all day. Who's next? Pixie name for Pixie Town.
I like
be
Jelly
up.
Bean.
Jellybean! Jellybean it is! Jellybean! Alright. And off you go. And he snaps his fingers without looking up from his clipboard. Zompano shrinks down to just a little bit over 6 inches tall and grows a pair of nice dragonfly wings. Has a name tag that says Jellybean on it.
Zephyr's gonna come up so excited. He's like, I'm gonna be Bubble Gum Flippy Floppy.
Bubblegum Flippy Floppy. Wonderful, wonderful name indeed. Wonderful. Good job, good job. Writes it down. And in you go. And snaps his fingers, and Zephyr shrinks down as well. And looks towards
Clapping
you.
the whole time.
And you, what shall your new identity be in this wonderful land, my lady? He dragonflies right up in front of you.
Buttercup lemon wing.
Buttercup what?
Lemon wing.
Buttercup Lemon Wing. Lemon Wing. I hadn't heard of Lemon Wing in many, many a year. Well done, well done. Oh, here's we have one more. And with that, you all see Aura running up, waving her hand, about to join you all. And this is where we will pick up next week, everybody.